Yes, sir. Yes, sir, you can.
Okay. Thank you. Thanks, everyone. Yeah. So I'll introduce myself. As you already know, and Sophia introduced, I'm Srikar, and currently, I'm working as a product manager in one of the analytics company. So coming to the BA. So what is BA? So this everyone is here to learn and to know about BA. First of all, not learning. So first you need to understand what is BA, who is a business analyst, and what are the career opportunities that you can get by doing this particular course, or what are the career aspirations. Like if you're, say for example, if you're working as a developer or if you're working as a tester currently, so you can, how you can transform your career as a business analyst, and why you need to transform, and what is the need of the hour to transform as a business analyst. So let's try to discuss about all these points, and then if you have any questions, I'll open it for you. Okay. Yeah. So first, let me try to explain what is business analyst, guys. Okay. So maybe you might have heard from various people and from various institutes or from various websites or from various job portals about the role business analyst, right? So business analyst, as everyone know, this is basically a role. So it is a designation in the IT world, correct? So as we have various designations in market, like we have test engineer, we have validation engineer, we have software developer, we have program manager. Similarly, so we have a role called business analyst. Okay, so business analyst is a basically a designation in IT organization. And why business analyst is needed, and what exactly business analyst will be doing in their day-to-day
Sorry,
life.
excuse me,
Yeah.
sir. Can I 1 minute? Can someone from your side watch lobby because they keep keep coming and they are waiting in the lobby, so someone has to allow them to enter. If someone can continuously watch that part.
Uh, Hi, I am logging. I am checking the lobby actually, and allowing
Okay,
as
sure.
soon as
Thank
the candidate comes in. Okay, thank you, guys.
Okay. Yeah, so let's continue. So let's try to understand who is you want to record this session? Okay, hope it is already being recorded. Okay. So okay, let me try to explain who is a business analyst and what exactly business analysts do in their day-to-day activity. Okay. So before jumping into there, so first of all, we need to understand what is a business, correct? So what is a business, guys? So like a business, what is exactly business? So whenever we are trying to generate some revenue, or whenever we are trying to purchase something, or selling something, so that is a business, correct? So let's take a simple example. So everyone will use Amazon or Walmart for their purchases of the product, or anything to do the shopping in online, or to do a shopping in physical store in physically. So you will be visiting a store, and then you will be adding some products to the cart, and then you will go to the billing executive. So they will check, and they will generate the bill, and you will do the payment. So to support all these activities, there is a software needed in place, correct? So definitely there should be a software where whenever they scan a particular barcode, so it should detect that particular product, and the price should automatically come in. And whenever you add another product, so the price should get summed up, and finally the total should be displayed, and the billing executive should be generating a bill, right? So this is the use case that we have in real time. So everyone might have noticed this particular use case. And for to achieve this, definitely we need a software, correct? So similarly, we have multiple products in real time world, correct? In the real world, say you're doing some shopping, or say if you're booking some movie ticket, or you're booking some flight ticket, so definitely a software application is needed. So how that software application was developed at the very first place, guys? So how it was developed? Because there was a business need, and then the business will reach out to a particular service based company, or any technical team, and they will approach for their product development. Say I am running a business, guys. Let's say I have a retail shop. I'll go with a very basic example. So let's say I have a retail shop, and I'm managing three outlets in US. Let's say in multiple regions, in I have three outlets in total. And how I am running my business, it's manual process, case. Let's assume I am getting the material from different warehouses, and I'm maintaining it manually. And whenever the people step into my particular outlet, so I will sell the product and I will give them a manual bill. So when I say manual bill, so I will write it in a paper and a pen, and I'll just collect the money, and that's it. So I will give the product, that's it, it's done. So what is the use case that you understood here? So I'm running a business, but I don't have any product to use this. There is no product to help in generating or in maintaining my business day-to-day activities, correct? So for this now, like, what is the need here for me? So I need a product. So what I will do now, so as a customer or as a stakeholder, I will be reaching out to a particular organization. So let's say any service based organization like Accenture or TCS or IBM, so any company. So that is a service based company, correct? So I will reach out to them and I will explain my business. Hey, this is what I'm doing. So I'm collecting the material manually and I'm maintaining it in my physical store, and then like I'm selling the products and I'm giving a manual bill. So this is what is happening, but there is a lot of problem to me. I'm not able to understand like what is the revenue that I'm generating, and whenever the stock goes out, I'm not able to maintain that properly. So I need a product where like all these activities can be tracked, and I can get some lively updates. Say for example, whenever the stock is out, right? So like one day before itself, like I need to get a notification, and whenever I wanted to see what is the total revenue that I got generated, what is the total sales that for a particular week or for a particular month, and for a particular business unit or for a particular outlet. So I need to get all these details. So please propose something. So I will go with a request. So this is what is called as an initial proposal, guys. Okay. What is this called? Initial proposal. So whenever there is a business need, customer will go to an IT team. The IT team can be like from service based company like IBM and TCS, etc., Accenture. Okay. So what will exactly happen in this particular case? So now, the IT team will understand the customer's problem. Okay, the customer is having these business, and let's gather all the requirements. Then they will team. So the technical team will come up with some proposal, and they will suggest, hey, a product should be implemented for you, and these are the roles that we will be including in this particular product, so that you can get the lively updates and you can see the reports and you can see the data whatever you want on your day-to-day basis, and everything will be systematically digitalized. So you no need to use any manual process, and everything will be digitalized if you give the project to us, and we will be able to do that. So that will be the initial proposal which will be given by the IT team to the customer. So here understand, guys, there are two parties. One is customer, or you can call it stakeholder. Okay, so customer or stakeholder, both are same. And the second party here is IT team, which is from a service based company. So hope everyone is clear, guys, so far. So you understood the use case, right? So what is a need of the hour, what is the business need of the hour, and why they are approaching a service organization, and what is a proposal that they are putting, and so all these things. So this is a very basic step that will happen in any IT project, guys. So then what will happen? So let's say the customer liked everything, whatever the IT team is proposing, so that he liked it, and so the budget, everything was in everything was okay for the customer, and they finalized the product. Finally, they asked to implement the product, and let's assume the product duration is 6 months, and they have released the budget as well. Okay, so till here clear, right? So till here, the business analyst will not involve, and now once the project gets kickstarted, then the business analyst will actually come into the picture, guys. So what business analyst will do in this particular scenario? So actually business analyst will start whenever the project gets kickstarted, guys. Once the proposal document is finalized, so then business analyst will come into the picture, and he will start gathering the requirements. Okay, so what are the requirements? He will go much deeper into the requirements, like how many billing executives will be there in your outlets. Like he will ask questions, like business analyst will try to ask the questions, and he will document all the requirements, guys. Okay, so he will ask questions to the customer, like what kind of application you need, whether you need a mobile application or you need a web application, and how many users will be using your application, and what sort of billing you are expecting from us, what are the attributes that you should display in that particular bill receipt. So like this, the business analyst responsibility is to gather all the requirements from that particular customer and then document it, guys. So that is what business analyst will do. Okay, so why actually what is the need of all these guys? So can't developer directly go to the business and get all these details? No, so that is not possible at all. So that's why, so there will be a mediator between the end customer and the business, sorry, the technical team. So here there are two parties, I said, right? So one is the customer and one is the technical team. So business analyst will be acting as a mediator between the end customer and the technical team, guys. So that is what is called as a business analyst, and it is just a role name, guys. In some of the organizations they call as a product owner, or in some of the organizations they call as a product analyst or business analyst, business consultant. So the terminology can be anything. So a company to company, the designation will definitely vary. So don't go with the designation. So whenever you're trying to apply for a particular job, so try to read the job description and what exactly it mentions and what exactly it says. Based on that, if you are feeling comfortable, so you can apply for such kind of a role. Okay, so hope everyone is clear, guys, what is business analysis and what is business analyst. I'll try to repeat. Business analyst is just a role, and business analysis is the process of extracting the requirements and getting the work done for the customer. As simple as that. Okay, so a business analyst, like what he should be doing, so he will be assisting the organization, or he will be assisting the customer in identifying their needs and requirements, and then he will try to give a solution for it, and he will implement that, and he will deliver the product back to the customer. So this is the process, guys. This is a process that business analyst will be doing in their day-to-day activities. Clear, guys? Okay, now let's try to understand what are all the skills needed for business analyst. I'll try to write it, guys, so that it will be very clear for you. And one more thing, guys. So this is like a course like from which I'll be explaining from very basic, and no need to have any prior knowledge, guys. Like if you are like a fresher or if you are like a college graduate, so it is okay to continue in this particular course, and you'll be able to understand like everything. Like I'll start with from scratch to the advanced level, so that you will get a complete picture of like what is business analysis, and what business analyst will do, what is the process of documentation, what sort of documentations you'll be doing. So I'll explain the course content in some time, so that you will get to know like you will have a very clear picture. Okay, now let's try to understand skills needed for business analyst, guys. So first is communication. So that is very basic, correct? So you should be able to communicate with the team. So for that you should know the English language, or like whatever native language. In some of the German countries, they prefer like who knows the German language, so that they can talk in German language and they can gather the requirements from the customer. But in US market, like such kind of languages necessity is not required, and English language should be more than enough. So communication, and then documentation skills. So like preparing BRDs, wireframes, etc. So there is some process, guys, for like when I say documentation skills, you need to prepare a requirement document, like we call it as a BRD, business requirement document. You will be creating it in a Word document, or you will be using Confluence to create it. I'll be showing how to create that, what is Confluence, what is Word document, what are all the contents that we'll have in a BRD, everything I will be showing. And then wireframes. So we have a concept called wireframes, like it is like a mock-up. We can also call it as a mock-up. So business analyst will be creating that wireframe, and then he will work closely with the UX team. Okay, and then UML diagrams. So UML diagrams, we have multiple diagrams like activity diagrams, use case diagrams. You will come to know about that in our course. Okay, so documentation skills are very much needed. And what else? and you should be able to come, you should be able to gather the requirements, correct? So gathering the requirement gathering. So there are some specific techniques to gather the requirements, guys. It's not like straightforward, and we have to use various techniques in various different scenarios. Based on the situation, we need to apply that particular business gathering technique, so that it will be very easy for the customer and it will be very easy for you as well to gather the requirement. Okay, so I'll be explaining about what sort of requirement gathering techniques are required, and then facilitating the communication. Okay, so what is facilitating the communication? So what I said in the initial statement, so business analyst will be acting as a mediator between the end customer and the technical team. So you have to facilitate the communication, guys. Whatever your business is giving the requirements, you need to document that, and you need to explain that to your dev and QA teams, correct? So in a technical team, so let me explain about technical team. So technical team consists of like developers, architects, leads, and QA engineers case. Okay, so whatever requirements given by your customer, you will be documenting them, and you will be explaining to technical team. So you will be explaining to all the team members case, like everyone will participate in that particular discussion, and you will be explaining that requirement to your technical team, like developers, architects, or leads, or QA engineers. To everyone will be there, you will be explaining them, and you will make them understand this. So that is your main agenda. What is your agenda here as a business analyst? You need to understand the requirement, and then you need to come with a solution, and you need to explain that particular requirement to your customer, and to your dev team and QA team, and finally you need to get it done and deliver it back to the customer. So that is what you will be doing in your day-to-day life, guys. So hope everyone is clear now. Any questions before jumping into the course content and much more details? Any questions with respect to high level, what is business analyst and what you will be doing, what are the skills needed? Any questions, guys, from anyone? Okay, someone has posted that the voice is not clear. Is it the same case for everyone, guys?
No, for
No,
me
it is
the
good
voice
for
is
me.
clear.
For us, it's okay.
Yeah, for
Okay.
us. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe yeah, can you rejoin?
So, Srika, just a quick question, if I can ask that now, or you want me to wait?
Yeah, please go ahead.
So, does BA do any kind of testing other than requirement gathering or coordinating whatever is needed based on the need from the requirement?
Definitely. So definitely you will be testing as a business analyst. You should do the testing. So there will be a separate testing team in every IT project. But as a business analyst, you also should perform one round of testing before delivering it to the customer. Okay. So I'll be explaining. So what sort of testing, and at what point of time you need to do the testing. So all these things I'll clearly explain.
Great, thank you.
Yeah, and one more thing, guys. So multiple people, like say you there is a developer. You say, for example, you're working as a developer, like let's say on a Java developer or a Python developer from last 5 years. So even for such kind of people, so this particular course is very much useful, because you can get the transition from the development team or from the testing team to a business team. Okay, so in real time, so we call BSc team, guys. What is BSc? Business Solution and Consulting. Okay, so where BA and POs will be there. Okay, so BA, everyone know about BA, so business analyst and product owner. So like both are like both these roles are more or less the same, guys. So only minor difference will be there. You will clearly get to know the difference in our coming classes. Okay, so what exactly is the difference between the BA and the PO. So you will come to know. But assume like there will be a team called BSc team, Business Solution and Consulting team, and you will be part of that particular team. And so like nowadays, like most of the developers are trying to convert their career, and they're trying to get a job as a BA guys. Why? Because so you cannot scratch your head and do the development activity for throughout your career. So let's say 50, you have 15 years of career or 10 years of career, so it is very difficult job. And you will not feel interesting at a certain point of time. But business analyst role or a product owner role, it's not like that. So it will be very interesting role. So why? Because you will be directly interacting with the customer, and you will try to understand the problem statement, and you will come up with some solutions guys. So that will be very interesting role. So maybe initially it will be new to you, but once you get used to that documentation process or the requirement elicitation process and the solutioning part, it will be very very easy for you. Okay, only thing is with the communication we can manage it very well. And coming to the packages also, so you will be having like a very decent package when compared to a developer, or when compared to a tester. Be a business solution and consulting team will have much more and much better packages, so that I can confidently say. Okay.
So is it a evergreen business analyst?
Yes, a good question. So it is a evergreen. So okay, let me tell one simple
Because
thing. So
nowadays AWS, Spark, this also coming up. So
exactly, I'll answer that. So okay, very good question. So now everyone has to understand this. Like what she's asking is whether business analyst is evergreen, or do we need to keep on upgrading. So one simple thing is, let's say a Python developer user, or let's assume C++. In earlier days we had C++ and C# developers, like which is related to the Microsoft product. So now like so many new technologies has came in, like Python or JavaScript or Java, etc. So now what that particular developer has to do, he has to definitely upgrade, right? So he has to upgrade from that particular old code base to a new code base, and he has to upgrade himself or herself, and then he need to implement that particular knowledge and then work on the IT project, or like work on that particular project. But business analysis is not like that guys. You need to upgrade in terms of the domain knowledge. Say for example, if you're working for a healthcare project, so you need to gain that particular domain knowledge. Okay, or if you're working for a particular retail domain, say e-commerce domain, so you need to gain the knowledge in that particular domain. But other than that, all these documentation skills, all these presentation skills, the requirement gathering techniques or the testing techniques, everything will remains the same. Only one thing that you need to keep on upgrading is gaining the domain knowledge. So that is very much important for a business analyst. So there are two types of it guys. One is a functional business analyst, and one is a technical business analyst. Maybe this is too early to discuss about that, but as like she asked the question, so I'm trying to explain this particular concept. So functional business analyst is more of like functional driven, like a domain driven. So mostly functional business analyst will be sticking to a one particular domain guys. So let's say you got a job in a healthcare sector, so you will not move to a banking sector in throughout your career. So you will try to stick to that particular healthcare sector, and you will, whenever you're trying to switch the job, you will be applying for only jobs like where healthcare project need requirement is needed. Okay, so suppose if you are working for a BFSI domain like insurance or banking sector, so you will never switch back to the healthcare sector. Why? Because you already must have gained very good knowledge in that particular domain, and you don't want to spend time in learning a new domain and then upskilling over there and then like implementing that particular knowledge. But if you are interested, like it is like most welcome. So no one is stopping you to learn a particular new domain, and no one is like stopping you. So you can still learn a new domain and you can apply for that particular project. So this is one side of it, and the other side of the like other space is the technical business analyst. So what technical business analyst will do, so if you know a little bit of API and SQL, so as I'll explain what is API, what is SQL in the coming classes. So if you know like a little bit of technicality, so you can work on technical projects and they will never mind on the domain knowledge guys. The interviewers or like the new organizations will welcome you if you are good at like how you will be implementing. If you are good at API, if you are good at SQL, so definitely they will welcome you and they will give a chance to learn that particular domain. So it's not like you need to know that domain for sure before applying for that particular job. It's not necessary. So you can prepare a particular domain and like project your resume as if you are familiar with that particular domain experience. And then if, like say for example, if there is a new requirement with some other domain, so it is totally fine. You can say that I have not worked on that particular domain, but definitely given a chance, I will be learning that particular domain and I will try to work on that particular project. So in this particular case, on what basis they will hire you guys? Based on your technical skills. So when I say technical skills, based on your communication, based on your documentation skills, based on your requirement gathering skills, and based on your technical skills like API and SQL. Okay, based on these skills, they will hire you. So they're not based on the domain. Okay, clear?
Yes, thanks.
Yeah. Okay, guys. Now let's try to understand the course content so that you will have a fair understanding what you will be trying, what you will going to get out of this course. Okay, so first I will start with the very basic, guys, introduction to business analysis and what will be the roles and responsibilities of a business analyst, that you need to understand, correct? And what you will be doing in the IT projects. So what sort of work will be there, what sort of requirement gathering you should do, and why you need to do, how you need to do. So I'll try to explain that in the very first session. And then I'll start with the fundamentals of IT. So maybe few of you are already working in the IT projects, and maybe few of you are not working in any of the IT projects, and you're like starting your career just now. So for them, it will be very helpful. So the second session will be very helpful for them. I'll be explaining how the IT projects will kickstart from starting from the proposal. So I have given a overview, right? So how the project will kickstart, what is a proposal document. From there, I will start with this SDLC, software development lifecycle. So what are the different phases that we will be having in a software development lifecycle? What is a software development lifecycle, guys? It is a process of developing a particular software. So we need to follow various steps for it, and various phases will be involved in that particular software development lifecycle. I'll try to explain that with the very basic thing so that you will be getting some good confidence, and then from there you can start your actual BA topics. So then comes is the process, guys. Like I said, SDLC, correct? Software development lifecycle. So to implement this software development life cycle, so there are various methodologies in market. So I'll try to explain that methodology. What are the different methodologies we have? So for example, waterfall method and V model and agile model. So you might have heard this agile, like agile is a very popular terminology, correct? So you might have definitely heard this terminology. So in our course, like I'll be mostly focusing on the agile methodology, because 90 to 95% of the projects, like people are preferring like agile methodology. So that's why I will start from the very basic to till the advanced level. Uh, till the advanced level, and I'll be explaining the complete process, like what is agile, and what are the different management tools that we will be using to implement this particular agile. And in agile, so we have two types of model. One is scrum based model and one is kanban model. So now you'll get confused. I'll explain in the coming classes what is a scrum based model, what is a kanban based model. So there are a lot of differences. I'll start from there. And in our tutorials, it's not only theoretical class, guys, it will be very practical class. I'll be explaining with Jira. So Jira is a management tool. Okay, so there are other tools as well, like Azure DevOps or Rally. So each organization will prefer a particular management tool, correct? So in our classes, let's try to learn Jira, because most of the organizations are being used with Jira software. So that's why I'll prefer that. And this topic is a very big topic. And then I'll start with the requirement gathering techniques. What are the different requirement gathering techniques or requirement elicitation techniques that we have, and how to document the functional and non-functional requirements. So I'll give one small example for functional and non-functional requirement. So whatever requirement which will be given by the customer, you can consider that as a functional requirement. and whatever related to the technicality. So suppose you are logging into a particular page, the password should not be visible to anyone, correct? So the password should be masked, and what is the time it is taking to validate the credentials that you have entered, and what is the time it will be taken to navigate from one page to another page. All those technical related details will come under non-functional requirements. I'll be explaining in very detailed way. So what is a functional, what is non-functional, and how to document it and when to document it, all those details I'll explain. And the next comes is the documentation skills case. So I explained, right? So documentation skills are very much important for a BA. And for documentation skills, the first thing that you need to learn is how to write the wireframe, how to create the wireframe, and what are like a use cases. This is UML diagrams. Okay, so UML diagrams. So for this, it is again not a theoretical class, guys. I'll be using Balsamiq in our classes to show this particular demonstration, and we can have one real-time use cases. We can pick some any product, let's say Walmart or Flipkart, any application, and we can start creating a particular wireframe for that particular real-time scenario. And similarly, UML diagrams. So UML diagrams, we have various diagrams. For a business analyst, mainly we need to understand activity diagram and use case diagram. So these two I'll be explaining in a detailed way, and also I will be explaining about ER diagram. ER diagram is something related to entity relationship diagram, so which will be created by your database developer, but it's better to understand from your side. Okay, so I'll try to explain that. And these are the documentation, guys, like business requirement document, functional requirement specification, and system requirement specification. So this you will be creating it in a Word document or Confluence document. So I'll explain that also. What will be the sections that you will be having, how to document it, when to document it, and to whom we need to approach for review. So all those details I'll try to explain. And the topic is team working agreement. So this is a very basic thing. So whenever you join in a particular project, so you need to understand how the team is working, correct? So what is your role, and at what point of time you need to gather the requirement, at what point of time you need to deliver the requirements, everything you will be understanding with this particular topic. So we call it as a definition of ready and definition of done, so DOR and DOD. And at the interview point of time also, it is very very important. So DOR and DOD. And then is release notes. So what is release notes? So once you complete a particular assignment, you need to submit that particular release notes to the deployment team, so that they will deploy the code from one environment to the other environment. So that is a release notes all about. I'll explain how to prepare a release notes, how it will be looking like. So see, guys, I have prepared this course content keeping in mind that you are working in a real-time project. So it's not like just for like theoretical knowledge. So you will be getting in detailed practical knowledge where you can ready to start working in a particular IT project once you pursue this particular course. So that's why I've included all these topics, guys. Okay. Okay. So next topic is very important. That is story pointing techniques. So in Agile also, I'll be covering about all those things in Agile. So I'll be covering all the events which will be available in Agile, like say, for example, sprint planning. So we have multiple events, guys, not like if you want me to name, like sprint planning, sprint retrospective, daily stand up. So we have, so like that, we have multiple events in Agile. I'll explain each and every event in a very detailed way, along with the scrum master responsibility, business analyst responsibility, what BA will be doing in that, and what developer will be doing in that particular event. So it's better to understand all these roles, so that you will have a clarity what exactly you need to do. Okay. So so along with that particular Agile, so I'll explain this particular seventh topic. So that is story pointing techniques, and what is a velocity, and what is a capacity. So capacity is nothing but something to check the capacity of your team. So you cannot assign the complete project for a particular 5 members team with a 1 week duration, correct? So definitely you need to know the capacity of your team. Based on the capacity of your team, you need to assign the work. So how to do that, and how to check the velocity of your team? Velocity is nothing but what are the deliverables that your team has delivered in the past, like say in the last 3 months or in the last 3 weeks. What is the outcome that your team has given? So to check that, we have a concept called velocity. I'll be explaining that particular formula. so that you only can easily calculate the capacity and velocity. Okay. And then like the backlog, what is backlog, what is sprint planning, what is product backlog, what is sprint backlog. So all these things I'll explain. And the next thing is very, very important, guys, SQL. So what is SQL, guys? SQL is nothing but structured query language. So everyone know that we deal with the data. So suppose if I'm working for e-commerce application, where the data will get stored, the data will get stored in a database, correct? So what is an example for a database like Oracle SQL, or like we have Microsoft database, or we have MongoDB, we have DynamoDB, which is related to AWS. So all these, there are multiple databases in market, guys. So to interact with database, we need some specific language. So as I am interacting with you in English language, so to interact with database, we need a specific language, and that language is called as a SQL. So the full form of SQL is structured query language. So why we need this? To interact with data, definitely we need to understand the structured query language, at least basics. It's not like SQL means you will not be learning all the skills which is required as a developer, guys. So for a business analyst, whatever is needed, so with a very minimal thing and with a very easy manner, I'll try to explain you with a practical thing. So I'll be using Snowflake in our tutorials, guys. Snowflake. Okay, Snowflake is a cloud database. I'll explain from the scratch how to install it and how to get started. So I will be explaining everything. So not only about these guys. So whatever I told, so UML diagrams, I'll be preferring Lucid Chart, and for wireframes, I'll be using Balsamic, and for preparing the BRD, I'll be using Confluence. Okay, so these are the tools that I'll be showing practically in our classes. And for Agile, I'll be using Jira. And all these will be practical classes, guys, not a theoretical class. Okay, so now Snowflake. So Snowflake is a cloud database. I'll be explaining you what is the need for a business analyst to understand SQL, and what are all the different topics that we need to learn in SQL, and how to implement that, or how to use that, and when to use that. All these details I'll be explaining in this particular section. Okay. Okay, I'll quickly move on. So the next topic is very, very important, guys. So even you are a functional BA or a technical BA, irrespective of that, so you should know this particular concept very clearly. API. What is API? Application Programming Interface. So this is a little bit of technical concept, and I'll explain you in a very detailed way. So we will use Postman in our tutorials, guys. So there will be around four classes for this particular section. So I'll be explaining with you with the Postman application, and I'll explain various types of methods that we have in real time, like get API, post API, put API, and what are the different types of responses that we will have in API, and how to create a requirement document for API related requirement. All those things you will get to know with this particular section. Okay. Okay. So now the next topic is the different types of environments and different types of testings that you do. So maybe initially someone has asked like about testing. So what will business analyst will do a testing or not? Definitely you will do a testing, but what up to what level? So that I'll be explaining in this particular section. So, and also you need to understand different types of environments that you have in a real-time project. So that I will try to explain here. And the next topic is, it's like very basic thing, Excel. So maybe most of you are already aware of Excel, and I'll maybe Jira reporting is a new concept for you. I'll try to explain in Jira how to track the reports and how to check the metrics and how to create the dashboards in Jira. So all those things I'll definitely show. And let's move on. Okay. So the next one is need of a business analyst in data warehousing and reporting projects, guys. Okay. So there are two phases. One, initially I said, right, one is the functional and one is the technical part. So functional is nothing but whenever you interact or whenever you deal with the UI, like the user interface, that you can consider as a functional BA. And whoever is working for the completely purely technical side, like a data warehouse related projects or the reporting projects, for such kind of roles, what we need to know, what we need to know SQL, and we need to know APIs also. Okay, I'll explain what is data warehouse. I'll start with what is database and what is a data warehouse and what is reporting, and what BA will do in such kind of a project. So I'll try to explain that. Okay. And next is the difference in between the roles between business analyst, product owner, and scrum master. So scrum master is altogether a different role, but there are similarities between BA and PO. I'll explain you the clear differences between BA and PO. Maybe based on your interest, you can apply for PO role also. It's not only it's not like you have to apply only for business analyst role. You can even apply for a product owner role after completing this particular course. Okay. And a day as a business analyst. So whenever you start a particular day, once let's say you got a job and you are in office, so you need to do some certain activities, correct? So what exactly you'll be doing from day to till end, so that I will explain. So to whom you will be meeting and what exactly you'll be doing in a particular day, I'll try to explain that. And finally, so these are like a post course assistance, like the resume building, and like how to prepare the resume, how to explain the project whatever you kept in your resume, right? So let's say you kept a healthcare project or a banking project, how to explain that to your interviewer. So I'll explain that. And how to like a resume building. So see, there will be huge competition in market, guys, but you should stand out, correct? So how you will stand out? So if your resume is very unique, so definitely they will pick your resume and they will give a chance. Means getting a chance for the interview is very important, guys. Not just applying for the all the jobs whatever you see. So you need to identify the right role and you need to apply for that, and they should shortlist you. So for that, what exactly you need to do? You need to build a very good resume with the key points in that particular resume, and you should portray your skills in a right manner. So for that, I'll definitely help you in building the resume and interview questions. So like I'll help you with the interview questions, what sort of questions will be there, and I'll conduct the mock interviews, and I'll try to give you feedback like in which areas you need to improve. Okay, such kind of support will be there. And finally, post job support and guidance to sustain, guys. Like most of you might like, this is a common question that I get in every demo. Like say you got a job and you're not able to do that. Okay, so you're not able to do that, and maybe you are feeling pressure in that particular area. So definitely we'll be able to assist you how to, suppose if you come up with some problem, so we will be assisting you with like how to deal with that particular problem, and we will try to help you in that particular case as well. So no one will do this, but definitely we'll try to assist you as possible, like in possible all the possible ways. Okay. So that is about this particular post job assistance, guys. Clear? So this is the complete course content, and the duration, like to complete all these concepts, or it will minimum take 30 sessions. I'll try to take it will take 26 to 30 sessions, guys, in total. So each session will be, the duration of each session will be 1 hour. And if you want to know about the timings, maybe you can reach out to the admin or Sophia, like they will be able to explain in a better manner. Okay. So that's about the introduction about BA and the course content, guys. Now I'll leave it to you for questions.